What's going on, combat sports fans? I want to talk about Zuffa boxing today. I want to know what people think about the idea of Zuffa boxing. If you don't know what Zuffa boxing is, Zuffa is a joint venture between Dana White and Turkey Al-Sheikh. It's Dana White crossing over from not just doing UFC promotion, now he's promoting in boxing. I don't know if you know, but in the UFC, it's always been talk about the fighters not being paid the right way. The risk versus rewards just ain't evening out according to a lot of people. UFC fighters at the top level don't get top level money, a lot of people say. And you wonder if by Dana White feeling like the Ali Act had to go for him to get into boxing, if that's true. Ali Act was introduced in the year 2000 and named after Muhammad Ali. Required promoters to fully disclose financial terms and contract details and limited the length of promotional agreements so that fighters wouldn't get stuck in long-term unfair contracts. Give fighters the right to challenge exploitative practices legally. Without the Ali Act, some say fighters will have fewer protections, less control over their own careers. So I was talking to Alexa trying to get an idea about some numbers. Today, mid-level fighters in the UFC make about $70,000 to $150,000, while the higher level UFC fighters make $300,000 plus. The lower level fighters in the UFC make $40,000 to $70,000 a fight. People like Jake Paul done criticized the UFC, saying that the fighters only make 10 to 20% of the revenue, and saying that NFL players and NBA players get half, 50% of the revenues. Gaethje recently spoke out and said that he haven't seen any extra money from this new lucrative Paramount deal that the UFC just signed. Then I asked Alexa about the average pay for boxers. And right now, the average pay for boxers sit between $1,000 to $4,000 per fight. But at the top of the game, you got the top champions making millions and millions more money than any UFC fighter can ever make. So, what do you think? And just for one example, Conor Benn just recently signed to Zuffa. And first, the rumors was he signed a $10 million one fight contract with Zuffa. And now we're hearing that he gonna fight Regis Prograis, the ex 140-pound champion who lost his belt to Devin Haney when Devin Haney decided to move up to 140. We hearing that he gonna get $15 million for a fight against Regis Prograis under the Zuffa promotional banner. So I'm still not any more clear than I ever was, because they threw out the Ali Act, but they paying good money in boxing. UFC fighters make low to mid grade money, but none of them make as little money as some of the lower level fighters in boxing. Some of the lower level fighters in boxing, that pay is kind of ridiculous, but then when you get to the higher level fighters in boxing, the pay is marvelous, something the UFC has never matched. So I don't know what to think. Y'all tell me what y'all think. This is Combat Sports Arena. I'm Taz, and we out.